Ready? Hello everyone, welcome back to this exciting video. You will have seen the intro, you will have read the title and seen the thumbnail. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's a him. I'm calling him Lino because it's a Tolino e-reader. I know, great. This is the Tolino Vision 6. That's what he looks like. Has the Lino logo. It's also already low-key greasy, but we'll ignore that. It has buttons. So in this video I just want to talk about why I got an e-reader, if I would recommend this specific e-reader, and just a few of the advantages that having an e-reader comes with. It is boiling today, but we will get through it. I will sweat a lot in this video. When I film my videos, I have to turn on lights. So I have this light on and I have my overhead light on, because if I don't, then the background gets super dark because I'm sitting in front of a huge window. But that's besides the point. This is the Tolino Vision 6. I bought this baby for a painful 170 euros, well, technically 169 euros. It's a new device, which I'm really happy about because I never buy new and shiny things for myself. And the reason I wanted to get this one was because it has like the page turning buttons, which with my old e-reader, getting to the next page was like a mission in and of itself. So I just wanted these buttons, and from what I'd heard, a lot of people that I watch a lot of YouTube videos and stuff on different e-readers, and from what I've heard, a lot of people that had like an e-reader with buttons, they said they wouldn't go back. They would always opt for an e-reader with buttons. And I have had this one since Friday now, and I have to say I kind of agree. It is definitely a game changer in terms of comfort. So the reason I wanted to get a new e-reader was just because my old one felt really old. Before, and I had also a Tolino Shine 2, I believe, which I had gotten from my mom because she used it previously and she bought a new one because that one was kind of crappy. And back then I wasn't really a big reader and I was just reading occasionally, and when I was reading I was usually reading physical books, so it just didn't matter as much whether or not I had like a really well functioning device, I guess. But over the last two and a half-ish years, I definitely got more into reading, and the more I wanted to read ebooks, the more complicated the e-reader got, I felt like, because there were a lot of things that just weren't properly working anymore. Like I said, turning a page. I am left-handed. A lot of devices are just made for right-handed people, and it's kind of difficult to keep up with this little fella of a left hand. And so when I would try to turn the page, I would obviously do it on the left side of the screen. This one you can just turn, by the way. I would just do it on the left side of the screen, but then because it was the left side of the screen, usually the e-reader thought I wanted to go back, and it was a whole thing. Also used micro USB, which is so annoying because I had to like rummage all of our old boxes of electronics to even find a micro USB cable. And it didn't work properly, like when I tried to charge it or when I tried to transfer books from my laptop to my e-reader, it would constantly disconnect and just not work. And I know all of these are obviously like minor things, like I was still able to read on this e-reader. They were just annoying, and it would definitely hinder my reading experience in the long run. So I had thought about getting a new e-reader kind of for a longer time. And then as school came to a close and I was confronted with the reality that I would have to do something after high school, I applied for university and I got in, luckily, and I'm moving in a few weeks. So all of these books, I will take them with me. This room I will empty out pretty much completely except for the bed because I want a new bed. And you know I have to. I'll live in a smaller space. I'll probably move around a little bit more in the next few years during university, because I'll be doing semesters abroad and all of that stuff. And so I just wanted to reduce the amount of books that I buy, because moving books is a lot. I have never moved books. I'm just assuming it is. Like, from what I've heard people say, it sounds like it's a lot of work. And also, obviously, when I'm out at university, I will be a broke college student. And at the moment, I'm probably spending like 50 euros a month just on books. I mean, not this month. It has kind of gotten down, but on average, I think I spend like 40 to 50 euros a month. That is just not an expense that I feel like is sustainable for me as a university student. So I just wanted to reduce the physical books that I own and also reduce the amount of money that I'd have to spend on them. But I didn't obviously just want to stop reading, which is where an e-reader comes in very handy. Overall, there are just a lot of advantages to using an e-reader, I feel like. I mean, you obviously have you don't have to own a lot of books. Like, I can have like 1,000 books. I don't know how many books I can have on the storage, but I don't think it's that little. Like a few hundred books, I'm pretty sure I can easily fit onto this. So I can have like 100 books always with me wherever I go. It also has the added benefit that I don't have to go anywhere to get a book. I can literally just sit on my reading chair, go to an online shop or a digital library and get a book right then and there for a lot cheaper than if I went to the bookstore and bought it there, for a lot cheaper if I ordered it somewhere used online. And that honestly it's just such a comfort. Like, it adds so much to the comfortability of being a reader, truthfully. So that's definitely something that I'm really happy about. There's also obviously the added benefit of you can change everything about the book. You don't like the font? Change it. You don't like the size of the font? Change it. You don't like the layout of the page? Change it. It's so customizable. And as somebody who struggles a lot with headaches and vision, like, I basically have 20/20 vision. Not really, but my vision is really not that bad. I just wear these glasses because if I don't, my head hurts. My head is in so much pain all of the time, even if I'm just wandering around. And so being able to adjust, font size especially is just such a huge benefit for me, because it makes reading so much easier on the eyes. You can also adjust, blue light, or like, not blue light there. I don't think there's any blue light in an e-ink display, but you can adjust the warmth of the page. You can adjust the brightness, whether you want it in a dark mode or a light mode. It's just very nice if you struggle with any form of headaches and brain issues, I guess. I could never read a full-on book on my laptop screen. It would just kill my head. But on an e-reader, no issue whatsoever. So I have had this e-reader now for 4 days. Today's Tuesday. I bought it on Friday. Yeah, 4 days. 4.5 days. And I have no regrets whatsoever. This was a hefty purchase, but I bought it from my birthday money. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to splurge on things. I am not the type of person to splurge on a lot of things. So I'm just really glad I did on this one. I view this kind of as a long-term investment into my reading life, because, as I said, I don't need to buy as many physical books. I think it'll just help me reduce my physical TBR, which is something that I'm currently working on. You can watch the whole beginning of that journey in my TBR project video. I'll link it somewhere up here and in the description box if you want to check it out. It's also just, I feel like I read faster. I don't know if that is like a confirmed thing, like you just read faster on an e-ink display. Maybe I'm just imagining that I do. I haven't read enough books on this yet to confirm, but it feels like I'm reading a lot faster. Also because it's just so much more convenient to read. Like with a normal book, I cannot read that when I'm eating something, for example, because I need both hands to hold it open, to flip the pages. This one I can just prop on the table and tap when I want to switch the page. So it also makes reading more accessible in my everyday life. The only thing I have to say, I definitely need to get a case and put a pop socket on it, because this back, since there are these small holes in it, I find that a pop socket doesn't really stick to it. But I have tiny ass hands. I'm that annoying girl that's like, let's compare hand sizes, and my hands are always smaller. So I just need something to give me a little bit of extra support, because if I hold it like this, like I would a smartphone, there's still more weight on this side and it tips. So that's something I need to get. But other than that, reading comfort to a maximum in my opinion. One thing, so as I said, I view this as an investment, and one thing that I think definitely will happen with this, and that I've already seen with my other e-reader, is that I'm willing to experiment more in terms of my reading. Because the thing is, with physical books, A, they're expensive, B, they take up space, and C, if you don't like them, you have to go through the effort to get rid of them. With this one, not so much. I usually, like, it depends obviously on the book, but you can get ebooks, even like newer releases and stuff, for as little as like 99 cents. Obviously it depends on the shop and everything and where you're from, but there are also ways to get ebooks for free. For example, if you use like Overdrive, or your library supports ebooks and stuff. So it's definitely possible to get a lot of very cheap books on this, and because of that, I'm willing to experiment and go more out of my comfort zone, because I might not be willing to spend 20 euros on a book that I have no idea if I'll enjoy it. I'm probably more willing to spend 99 cents on a book that I have no idea if I'll enjoy it, because just the cost factor is a lot lower. And so I'm hoping that I will branch out a little bit of my reading, because frankly my reading is kind of always the same. So yeah, that's another benefit of an e-reader in my opinion. So would I recommend getting an e-reader? 100%. Even before I had this one, I really enjoyed having an e-reader for all of the reasons mentioned above. I would definitely recommend this. I think this one's made by Kobo. I think this is actually just the same thing as the Kobo Libra 2, or like similar at least, because a lot of cases fit on them. And from what I can tell here on like the side and stuff, this thing is also made by Kobo. So I think it's pretty similar to the Kobo Libra 2, correct me if I'm wrong. And I would definitely recommend this device so far. It's working pretty well. The only thing is, when I'm turning it, like, wait. So this is what it looks like, and if you turn it, there's supposed to be like this little button that you can tap, and then it turns, but sometimes it just doesn't, like that thing just doesn't show up, and that's the only thing that's been frustrating me so far. But I feel like that's more of a software issue than an issue with the device itself. So, and I'm pretty sure that's something they'll update as they go. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this device, and I would definitely recommend looking into an e-reader if you've been thinking about it. It obviously doesn't have to be a device for 170 euros. I think you can get e-readers for as little as like 50 bucks, which, if you think about it, if you read a lot of physical books that you buy, getting 50 bucks back in is not that hard. Like, especially if you read hardcovers, a hardcover can easily be like 20 euros. So, and also you can get these used obviously, and then they're also cheaper, and I don't really think it changes much if, like, when they were used. I don't think that really does anything to the quality of the device, unless obviously there's a lot of like damage that is viewable to the eye. So yeah, definite recommendation. And also, just in the vein of you can easily get the money back in by saving on physical books, I just feel like we kind of glorify owning physical books and reading physical books in this community just a little bit too much, and I'm trying to branch away from this. So I would definitely encourage you guys to check out an e-reader. Maybe you know somebody that has an e-reader and you can borrow it and like read 1 or 2 books on it, just to get a feel, because as I said, I feel like once you really get into it, it's not something that you'll want to turn back from again. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Lino and I are saying goodbye now. If you want to check out my TBR project, you can do so on one of these sites. On the other side, you can subscribe. You won't miss any further videos in the TBR project or any other content that I'll inevitably put out on this channel. And if you subscribe or check out the other video, I'll see you there. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.